What's up, everyone? It's Shanice, aka Achana Irie, aka owner of Pineapple Styles, and I am back with another video. As you can see, I got my friend Taylor here, and we are going to be doing knotless braids on her hair. We're going to be doing like medium-ish parts, but medium braids. She just wanted a cute birthday hairstyle, so let's get into it. As a licensed cosmetologist, of course, this service will start with a shampoo. I like to make sure, especially with natural hair, that you completely soak the hair. You want to make sure that the hair has absorbed all of the water to the point that it has extra running off. Once you've gotten that done, then you can start with your shampoo process. So that's what you see me doing. I am making sure I really wet down her hair, get in between there, part the sections, get all of that hair wet. It's time to start with that first shampoo process. I'm going in, parting her hair, and rubbing the clarifying shampoo directly on her scalp. I believe in always starting with clarifying shampoo, and I always start on the scalp because that is what we want to clarify. We want to make sure we remove any excess oils, any products, all of that stuff, because I'm going to replenish that after her shampoo. So I just go in and really massage that product into her scalp. And then I only recorded one shampoo for YouTube because I was also recording for Instagram here. So after I give her a really good shampoo, really good scalp rub down and massage, I'm going to go in with a second shampoo. And the second shampoo is going to be a hydrating shampoo. So once you clarify, you go in and hydrate. So I use a hydrating shampoo, and then I just make sure that I rinse it out thoroughly. Side tip, make sure that you work that shampoo down from the scalp through the ends. That is how I make sure the rest gets clarified. I don't add extra shampoo to it. I just work it down, work it down. So while I was working back in this other salon, I couldn't take deposits for my appointments, so therefore my clients had to bring their own braiding hair. So to make the most efficient use of my time, I would deep condition my client's hair under the hooded dryer while I separated the braiding hair for their service. And it would take about like 25 to 30 minutes. It just kind of depended on how much hair I needed. In this case, I need to separate regular braiding hair, so it didn't take too long. After I finished separating the hair, I rinsed her hair out. Now it's time for the blow dry, so that is what you see me doing here. I start off by stretching her hair with the paddle brush, and then I would go in with my round brush to really get in the roots and get those dry. Every braider or hairstylist does this differently. I like to pre-part the hair. So I start off by making a center part from the middle of her forehead to the crown of her head. And then I'm going to make two sections. And I'm going to do that by creating a part from the crown of her head behind her ears. So I'm going to have two sections in the front, and then I'm going to make my way to the back and I'm going to section from ear to ear. So that's going to give me 2 sections in the front, 1 section in the top where it's kind of the fullest above her ears, and then another section below her ears to the nape of her neck. And now I'm in the front and I'm going to actually part the front sections starting from the center part and going down towards her ears. Why do I do this? Because the hair in the top part of your head, where your center part is, where your crown is, that's the most dense. So that has the most strands of hair. And a lot of times that row actually needs to be a little slimmer than the rows closer to your ears, if that makes sense. So once I finished parting the front, I'm actually going to connect both sides of the front through the back. Here are the results of pre-parting her hair. I can see everything clearly, so let's get started braiding. All right, we are going in and braiding the first sections. So I do start off cleaning up my braids with product, and then I go in and do the actual knotless braid. I know y'all see how pristine those braids look. Like, come on, no lumps, no bumps. I pride myself on that. But yes, her braids are clean, parts are clean, and this is how you want to make sure you start your first row. Get it right from the first row and it should be good from there. Next tip is to pre-part all of the braids for that row. So I pre-part all my little sections for the row, so that way all I gotta do is grab the hair and braid. And again, look how neat that is. Here is a clip of me doing a knotless braid in regular speed. So I'm going in with my product, and in this case I'm using the Peruvian White Extra Hold Apple Cider Vinegar Braiding Gel. Their gel is one of my favorites. I'm combing the product through at the root to make sure it's all smooth, and then I'm going to go ahead and split it into 3 sections. So bear with me as I'm doing this real time, but I took my 3 sections of hair and I added my first piece, but there was a tangle, so I needed to add it again. And I left that in this clip because it's not always going to be perfect as you're going through the hair. The hair will tangle sometimes. So yes, I add my first piece in and I braid one piece back, braid the next piece back, and then I'm going to add my second piece in and I braid under. So that's why I'm adding the hair under as well. And I add it on the right side because I'm right-handed. Here you see me adding a little extra piece of hair, and then I'm going to braid it under once, braid it under twice, and now I'm going to flip my hands because I'm also going to tuck her hair. And so here we are adding the third piece. I'm going to add it to the back of the braid. And then I'm going to add some product to really help with tucking her hair behind the braiding hair. And then this is how we do it. So I'm going to show the start of another knotless braid, so bear with me. This is going to be real time, except this time I'm just going to zoom in and y'all can just watch. All right, one thing y'all can't say is that I didn't make sure I got a lot of clips of me braiding. I had to keep stopping and starting so I had enough memory, but your girl got all the braiding clips. Y'all, we got 2 more braids left, all right? 2 more braids, so you know I had to get the final braided clip. Enjoy this good music and watch me do my thing. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments because I am here to answer. Find something to pull me back before I go over the edge. Oh no, one call, one look at your photo. I go insane, going out of my head. No pride, need to find something to pull me back before I go over the edge. Oh no, can't jump ahead. I tried my best, just hit a wall instead. I drink then cry, repeat, I can't get out of bed. My heart is dead, I gotta take this away. Y'all, we are on the last braid. Like this video if you know what it's like when you're like, oh my gosh, they are finally on the last braid. Thank Jesus, I've been sitting here too long. Or if you're a hairstylist and you're like, oh my God, I am finally on the last braid. Thank God, I've been braiding way too long. I am tired, my legs hurt. Like this video. Most of us knows what that feels like. But yes, we are on the last braid, just doing the same technique that I described to you guys earlier. And I normally have my clients tilt their head towards me. As you can tell, I have long fingers, and so when I'm trying to braid, my knuckles get in the way. So most people do have to tilt their head when I am on the top. But yeah, we're just gonna finish this braid off strong like we do the rest of them. And no, this is not the end of the video because I still set the braids on everyone's hair, and I did record that, so that will be next. I had to zoom out so y'all can see, but you see how neat these braids are? Telling you, nothing can be a neat braid. So when I was still working in this salon, I used the Nutriplenish multi-use hair oil. Its main base is jojoba oil, and that's the closest type of oil to the natural sebum that our scalp produces. So I just go in, oil the scalp, gently massage that oil in because we are only encouraging hair growth over here, and you do that with some love, all right? So make sure you're oiling that scalp, not greasing, oiling with a light oil that won't clog the follicles. If you've watched any of my other hair braiding videos, you know my next step is to go in with foam to set the hair. So I'm mixing the Nutriplenish and Foamoliant foams. Both are lightweight and hydrating to hydrate her natural hair and allow the hair to just kind of lock in on those braids. So I apply the foam generously, and spread it all over her hair, mainly the scalp area, and then I'm going to tie it down with wrap strips so that it can dry down. I use a different method now to dry the hair, but like this video if you're an OG client of mine and you know what it's like at the end of your service when you gotta hold these wrap strips, or if your stylist has you do that. I mean, come on, you know it's gonna be worth it because your style's gonna look extra crisp. I'm dropping all the gems in this video, y'all, but another important tip is to trim up the braids, the ends of the braids mainly, just to make sure you get all those flyaways. She didn't really have any on top because most of it was her hair and this braiding hair was pre-stretched, but as you go towards the bottom there are going to be more flyaways. So I do try to pre-trim it if there is time before I dip it in hot water, and this will also give you more crisp braids. The next thing that I'm going to do, that's another tip, is to cover the ends of the braids with a foam as well before dipping in hot water. This will also help seal the hair, add a lot of movement, and it will give it a really nice scent. And I added oil to the ends too. Also, y'all, don't be afraid to dip the hair multiple times just to make sure that those ends are smooth and not all crinkly and crazy looking. I will dip it 3 or 4 times if need be. Last tip, of course, is to use a blow dryer or a hooded dryer on warm heat to dry down the foam that you put on the client's hair. And then I like to seal it with cold air because the warm opens up the cuticle to absorb the product and the cold air closes the cuticle shut. So that adds shine and just make sure your client's hair stays moisturized. And this is the final look. Isn't it gorgeous? There aren't too many braids, but those parts are crisp. The braids are neat. This is literally the perfect birthday and vacation style, okay? Make sure you like this video if you found it helpful, if you like the results, and make sure you subscribe to my channel to see more because I got 6 months worth of video that I need to upload. So stay tuned.